Hi everyone, my name is T of Crumpets Tea and Sewing here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. If you're joining me for the first time, welcome. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider doing so by clicking that red button below this video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my plans for April and also May because I have selected a few patterns, quite a few patterns, and I don't really plan on making all of these patterns in the month of April, especially with the changes that have been going on in the global community. I just have less time to sew now because my family is at home. So I'm hoping to get at least 4 items completed within the next 2 months. I'm hoping to complete at least 1 or 2 garments for the hashtag So Maxi for Mother's Day challenge. And this is the challenge that I'm hosting with the lovely Crystal of Crystal Sews and Stuff on YouTube as well as on Instagram. So check her out. I'll put her information in the description box below. I'll also put in the description box below our videos of the So Maxi for Mother's Day challenge, so you can learn about the entry rules, the guidelines, you can learn about the sponsors, and also the prizes as well. So if you're not familiar with this challenge that Crystal and I are hosting for the rest of April and up to May 12th, you can learn about that by clicking on our videos and watching our videos. So with that said, I need to get at least 1 garment completed for the So Maxi for Mother's Day challenge. And I'll show you the pattern that I am going to be using as well as the fabric. The very first item that I want to get completed in April is a pattern that I am collaborating with someone here on YouTube and on Instagram with. And that pattern is this pattern here, which is the Simplicity S9047. It's a jacket pattern that has 3 different variations, 17 pieces. It has a belt pattern in it as well. The fabric suggestions are cotton types, denim, linen types, poplin, sateen, twill, and some silky type fabrics. I am going to be making my version in a denim, it's a cotton rayon blend. It is a fabric that I purchased from Joanne last year from their Coastal Lagoon collection, and it's a really nice drapey lightweight denim fabric, which I think would look really wonderful in this style of pattern. Now if you can see here for view B, the model is wearing a type of denim jacket as well, which also looks a little bit drapey and somewhat loose fitting. So I am hoping to make view A, which is this version here, with the it has 2 different styles of pockets on the front. So it has the breast pockets up here, and then it has some lower pockets down on the jacket here. It has a cuff. You can make the tie belt to go with it. It's a button-up jacket, so it has 5 different buttons on the front, but on the back of the jacket it also has a loop so that you can have your tie go around the back of the jacket and insert it into that loop back there, which I think is also cool. It has drop sleeves, which I also really love because I usually have to do bicep adjustments when I select my pattern sizes from commercial patterns, because the bust and waist does not always correspond to the biceps in size. And so I usually have to grade up several sizes, which can be really frustrating because really you can only grade up about 2 sizes without affecting the bust and the waist. And so generally I have to do a full bicep adjustment in order to keep the waist and the bust sizes in the area where I want it to be. So with all that said, I'm just really happy that this has a drop sleeve pattern, because with drop sleeves, I usually do not have to do any bicep adjustments. And also I like the fact that it's loose fitting. So that will also play to my favor as well. So I'm hoping that I don't have to do very many adjustments. And the last thing that I really like about this pattern is the neckline. And I've said this just 1,000 times before on this channel. I love V-neck lines because my neck is so short, and it just opens up my neck area and it gives me that appearance as if I have a neck. And so I love the V-neck line as well. So I'm looking forward to making this, and I cannot wait until it's completed and I can show you my finished make. Now, the fabric that I selected is this fabric here. As I told you before, it's a rayon cotton blend, and it's very soft, somewhat drapey, and it's a denim, and it's a dark color denim, kind of like a indigo type color, which I love. I prefer the darker denims over the lighter denims, and so that's why I purchased this as well. So that is my first project for the month of April, which will be a collaboration, and I will tell you more about that and who I am collaborating with on this project later on. Next, I want to focus on making something with this fabric here, which is a Minerva piece, and it is sponsored. So I need to get this done as soon as possible so that I can write my blog post up on this and give my review of the fabric. So this is a really nice, this has a really soft hand. It's a black and white floral fabric. It's polyester, and it feels very soft. It's basically like a rayon type fabric. I have 3 yards of this, and I want to make a skirt and a top with this, with the 3 yards that I have. And I'm going to show you the patterns that I want to use for that. So the first is the McCall's M7725, which is the skirt pattern that has 4 different variations of an asymmetrical skirt. It's very easy. It has, I think, about four or five pattern pieces. So it doesn't have that many pattern pieces. It has a side zipper. So the zipper goes on the side. And I'm hoping to do B. That's this variation right here with the ruffled hem. That's the view that I want to do. And that view calls for about 2 yards of fabric. And so with the additional yard of fabric, I want to make this shirt here. It's the Vogue V1486. Now this is a pattern that I have been working on, and I actually used this shirt pattern here for another Minerva project that I just finished, and it was I made a scuba knit top, and you'll see that pretty soon. I'm going to make a sewing makes video, and I'll show you all the things that I've made in the month of March, and so you can see what I made. But I actually changed this pattern, I wouldn't say drastically, but I made a few alterations and adjustments to this pattern. Instead of having the zipper in the back, I made a few alterations so that I could have the zipper in the front. So it has an invisible zipper going up the front. I also changed the armhole area a little bit to fit my style and my taste. And I lengthened the crop top because I didn't want my belly to show. And I added a band to it. So I made a few alterations, and I'm still making alterations to the pattern because I want to do additional changes to the pattern to where I could do like a side zipper or a button up front, or you know, put eyelets in the front and have ties go through the eyelets. So I'm just really thinking about playing with this pattern. I feel like it's a universal pattern in the sense that you can take it and make small alterations and changes to it, because it's really boxy. It's a boxy pattern, and so you can really change it and kind of make it however you know, make whatever changes you want to it and make it your own. The only thing that I really need to focus on is the back of the pattern has quite a bit of a sway back, so I have to do a sway back adjustment. Well, I have a sway back, I should say. So I need to do a sway back adjustment and make some changes and alterations back there. But other than that, it's a really great pattern. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you some of the other patterns that I've selected and what I want to make throughout the month of April as well as May. For April, I want to do the McCall's M8066, which is this pattern right here. It's a really easy, simple skirt. It has 7 pieces, 4 different variations of a dress. You can make a tier dress or a dress without tiers, a dress with a ruffle. You just have some options there. You can even lengthen it or shorten it, you know, just kind of make it your own. The suggested fabrics are cotton blends, lawn, chambray, and polished cottons. And let me show you the fabric that I am thinking about using for this. So here is the fabric that I am hoping to use with that skirt. I want to do the tier skirt. I have 5 yards of this fabric, but it's not in one continuous piece. I have 2.5 yards of a fabric that's cut out, and then another additional 2.5 yards of fabric that's cut out as well. I purchased this fabric from Hobby Lobby last year, and it was on sale. I cannot remember how much it costed, but this is a cotton denim type fabric, and I'm excited to use this. Now, to make the tier dress, I would need about 3.5 yards of fabric, and then I want to make a top with it as well to go with it. Next, I want to make the McCall's M7900, which is this top here. I've seen several versions of this on Instagram, and the people that I follow who have made this have made some really beautiful versions of this top. If the top, the Vogue V1486 top, don't turn out the way in which I want it for cotton, because I have to size them based on the fabric that I'm using. So if it doesn't come out to where I like it with a cotton, then for the fabric that I just showed you, then I would definitely use that fabric with this pattern here. And I would love to do view C, which is the top with the little ruffle at the bottom of the top. It also has gathered sleeves and a little ruffle around the neck, and it's a button up top, and it has darts in the front and darts in the back. For the hashtag So Maxi for Mother's Day challenge, I also want to make the McCall's M8035. This pattern is also the pattern of the month for the Sew Your View challenge, and that would actually help me to make one garment for 2 purposes. So I'm really excited about this. I haven't decided which view I want to make. I also want to make the Simplicity S9040. Now, this pattern here is for a specific project that I have in mind, and a collaboration that I will be working with someone on as well. Now, I can't really talk about that collaboration right now. It is a collaboration that I will be working on with a business, and it's it's a really amazing opportunity. But as soon as I start working on that and I get the go ahead, I will go ahead and talk more about that collaboration, what I'm doing, what I'll be doing for the upcoming months with that particular collaboration, and the type of fabrics that I'll be working with and all of that good stuff. But for right now, I will tell you this. This is one of the patterns that I want to make. And the fabric suggestions are chambray, cotton types, gingham, linen types, poplin, sateen, and shirting type fabrics. I would like to make some changes to this pattern. The reason why I selected this pattern is because I like the neckline, and I also like the fact that there are buttons in the front of the bodice, but the buttons don't go all the way down the shirt. So it's not a shirt dress, but I really like the button detail in the front on the bodice. I also like the fact that in the back of the garment, it's elasticated. So the waist is elasticated. You have a belt that you can use, cuff details if you want a cuff, or you can use tie details on the sleeve if you want tie details, or you can just have a short sleeve with the little small tie details as well. I would not put the pockets on the front of the garment. It's just not my style. However, I would like to do some inseam pockets to the dress. So those are my thoughts for this particular pattern. And like I said, the fabric that I'm hoping to use with it will probably be a sateen. I picked a second pattern just in case the previous pattern that I showed you just won't work out for whatever reason. And this particular pattern is the Butterick B6723, which is somewhat similar to the pattern that I just showed you. It has a button detail on the bodice, elasticated waist, tie details on the sleeves, and you have two different skirt variations. So you can make just a skirt that is more of a closer fit with a rounded hem, or you can make a skirt that has more of a flare and the hem is just a regular squared hem. So I like this one. The difference between this pattern and the first pattern that I showed you are the sleeves. So this particular pattern has inset sleeves, and this pattern has raglan sleeves. So those are basically some key differences. Also, the neckline is a little bit different. This neckline has a rounded neckline. And in contrast, the other pattern has a V neckline as well as a boat neckline. So there are some small differences between the patterns. The Simplicity pattern has actual sizes like 14, 16, 18, you know, and what have you that you can choose, versus the Butterick pattern, it goes by extra small, small, and medium. So that's something that I would have to keep in mind as well and pay particular attention to. The next pattern that I want to make is the McCall's M8040, which is another top, and it has three different variations of a top that has princess seams, button detail going down the center front, V-shaped neckline, gathered sleeves. So the cap of the sleeve is gathered. I like this because it has the princess seams, and I find that any type of pattern that has princess seams usually is very flattering on me. And so that's one of the reasons why I chose this to make as a top. The fabric suggestions are poplin, shirting fabrics, cotton blends, lightweight denim, and similar type fabrics. So I would like to make view A, which is featured in that little animal print or dotted type print there. The pattern has 10 pieces, so it's classified as easy, but I'll have to see once I open it up, read the instructions, and look at the pattern pieces, but it seems pretty straightforward. Lastly, I chose the McCall's M7714, which is an older pattern. It also has princess seams, but it is a dress instead of a top. It has a zipper in the back. You have your princess seams in the front, and you have princess seams in the back. The fabric suggestions are sateen, poplin, wool blends, and it calls for lining fabrics. So you will be lining the garment. However, the pattern is classified as an easy pattern. And as I stated before, I love garments that have princess seams because it snatches my waist in and it just is more flattering for me. I would like to choose to work with views A or B because it has a fit in a flare skirt, which is also very flattering on me. And I would most likely use this pattern, as I said, in one of my collaborations. So those are some of my upcoming plans for the month of April and May. As I stated before, I would be lucky if I can just get 4 of these done with everything that's going on around the house. I really want to focus on the Vogue 1486 pattern because I want that top to be a TNT. And so I'm really trying to play with the pattern and get different types of styles with it. I might even try to adjust the sleeves so that I can add either a cap sleeve or a dolman sleeve. That's everything that I'm working on and that I plan to work on. And I hope to hear your plans. Drop me a few lines in the comment section below. Let me know what you're working on, what you're planning on working on, and what you hope to work on. So I hope you all are staying safe and practicing social distancing. I hope to see you all in the next video. And with that, my friends, I will talk to you later and stay creative.